Welcome everyone back to another episode of the All Four Downs podcast. I'm your host Ovi1, and football is finally back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and we're breaking down division winners, Super Bowl odds, coaching changes, and much, much more. So stick around because Hector made his picks. I'm making my picks right now. You could agree and disagree for every division winner, and we got some bold predictions for this season, so you want to stay tuned. Here we go. It's first down, and I'm going to start with the AFC West, right? The division. Hector and I, we both agreed that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this division once again. Yeah, I know Patrick Mahomes and the whole crew. This is a dynasty. And, you know, they're always in the playoffs. They're always on the run for the Super Bowl. They got another great chance making it back to the Super Bowl. But the thing is, can they repeat what they did and lose, right? Now, listen, it's very hard to win 3 in a row. But listen, it's some precedence on the way they handle their business to go ahead and just reach to the promised land and be successful. So regardless, making it to the Super Bowl is a success. Winning it, of course, it's awesome. But the Kansas City Chiefs, yes, are a dynasty as of right now. However, there are other teams like the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders that might make the run out of it. But if there's anyone, according to the DraftKings, Broncos and Chargers are going to fight. And they're going to put some competition against the Chiefs. But I still don't think that they got enough to surpass the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving on to the AFC East, Hector and I, we agree. Buffalo Bills are going to win. Okay, Josh Allen carries this team all the way through, regardless who's on which side of the ball, offense, defense. It's just Josh Allen has it. But how much can Josh Allen take, right? Should Josh Allen get hurt this season for some odd reason, you could say bye-bye to the Bills. But right now, the Buffalo Bills are more likely favored to actually make it to the Super Bowl. Can you believe that? You think that this is the time that they can surpass the Kansas City Chiefs? Oh, who's going to have home field advantage? That is the question. But I'm getting the Bills there. I am. Let's move on to the AFC North. Hector likes the Baltimore Ravens. I'm in favor of the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, I got it. Lamar Jackson, if he has another MVP season, all the way through, then yeah, the Ravens, they could win this. But I feel as though the Bengals, for what has happened, what has transpired for the last few years, having a slow start, they changing things up in preseason. You got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But you got to have defense to win championships. I really do agree on all that. Can they? Can that offense stay long on the field and help that defense get some rest? And if that's so, if they have the formula, you go ahead and bank that the Cincinnati Bengals will win the AFC North. And the AFC South, Hector and I agree that the Houston Texans are going to win this division, but it's a small margin because if you look, the DraftKings have them at plus 110. Jacksonville Jaguars is not that far behind with a plus 290 winning this division. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have a new head coach. They see things differently, right? The atmosphere is differently. And usually when Jacksonville Jaguars have a new staff, they always represent that first year. So I wouldn't mind seeing a battle between Houston and Jacksonville to the very end of the season. Let's jump on to the NFC North. Hector has Detroit Lions, and he believes that Jared Goff will keep them rolling again. But I'm questioning to see how much fuel this team has. And I know they dealt with injuries, especially towards the end of the season. They fell short. But come on, man. I'm picking the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love getting in rhythm. This is a solid team. And I feel like this time it's going to be a close race. I do predict that the Minnesota Vikings are going to the different direction. I got a feeling that the Minnesota Vikings will be in last place and the Chicago Bears finish third. That's my opinion. But hey, do you agree or disagree? Moving on to the NFC West. The LA Rams, fully loaded, but Stafford's health is the question. Can he stay healthy? Here's the depth chart for the LA Rams. You ready? They have Garoppolo and Stetson Bennett as backups. So I do believe that in case Stafford is out for some odd reason, then you got to give props to the Rams. And I know DraftKings got the San Francisco 49ers, but man, I just feel like there's something off about the 49ers this year. I know that the pieces are not all there like they had last year and the previous years. I just don't think that the 49ers will do it this year. And I do believe that the Rams have a strong approach in winning this division. Moving on to the NFC East. Man, can you believe that as of my recording right now, that John Mechie has been traded from the Texans to the Philadelphia Eagles? This is an Alabama reunion with Hurts, Smith, and Waddle. Man, these guys, it's like, might as well just call them Philadelphia Crimson Tides, because that's exactly what's going on here. However, I'm all in for the Washington Commanders. The offense can continue to be successful and listen to their coaches, follow the instructions, be hungry for that ball for every yard that they gain. But you adding Von Miller to that defense, and that is leadership, baby. Leadership. That defense will develop. And I won't be surprised if the Washington Commanders come out on top in the NFC East. And lastly, on the East, I know the New York Giants are at plus 2,500 right now, and no respect to them. But can you imagine that this year the Dallas Cowboys finished in last place? I believe that is what's going on. And for the New York Giants, they're hungry. And they better be. Because for their head coach's sake, if the Giants do not make the playoffs, you can say bye-bye to the whole entire coaching staff. Moving on to the NFC South. Who is it? Who is going to represent the NFC South? DraftKings says unanimously that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win it. And I do believe it. Hector believes it. I believe it. Listen, I just don't feel it when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, the Saints, or the Panthers. What are they going to do? What changes are they up to grab the NFC South? I just got a feeling that this year the NFC South will be the weakest link out of the whole entire divisions of the NFL. Wild card. All right, DraftKings has Denver and Pittsburgh, and Washington and LA Rams. Hector has Denver and Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh, but I'm adding Baltimore to that list, okay? As far as the NFC, Hector has Washington and San Francisco. I flip-flop with Washington and Philadelphia, but I do also have San Francisco in the playoffs. Wild card. It's going to be amazing, okay? But it's going to be fabulous. I'm loving this season already. And yeah, preseason to me is a drag, but it is what it is. But let's go ahead and move on to second down right now. All right, Super Bowl matchups, baby. Super Bowls. Who do you think, out of everything, who's going to make it to the What is your prediction as of right now? And of course, things will change by week 8. You might have a different perspective. But right now, it is favored that the Buffalo Bills versus the Philadelphia Eagles are on their way to represent in the Super Bowl. Secondly, almost a tiebreaker there, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's almost like we could predict that the Bills and the Ravens will be in the AFC Championship, and the winner goes on and face the Philadelphia Eagles. However, the Detroit Lions are second best in the NFC. So it could be Detroit versus Buffalo, maybe versus Kansas City Chiefs, right? Or could they play the Baltimore Ravens? And then we also have, which is, again, a Super Bowl rematch. We could actually have the Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Commanders. That is a plus 3,500 right there. Absolutely. Or could we see the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions? Something that we wanted to see last year. But could we see that? That'd be a great story, right? Because should the Detroit Lions maybe make the Super Bowl, then Jared Goff, his story will come alive again. And it said, what better than trying to dethrone the dynasty team to win it? It's like seeing Eli Manning beating the New England Patriots, right? Twice against Tom Brady and the boys. Just saying, that'd be a pretty awesome story, right? However, other areas like prediction, the 49ers, the Packers, represent the NFC. But I'm asking you this, who do you think will represent in the Super Bowl? Which team in the AFC and which team in the NFC will go in this year's Super Bowl? Yeah, that is my matchup right there. This is my prediction. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington Commanders. I'm booking this on DraftKings. Absolutely. And if that was to happen, man, more money. Oh, yeah. Third down. Here we go. New head coaches this year. Ben Johnson for the Bears. Mike Burrow for the Patriots. Liam Cohen for the Jaguars. You got Pete Carroll with the Raiders, Kellen Moore for the Saints, and Aaron Glenn for the Jets. And Aaron Glenn returns to the Jets, especially, man, he was a player for the New York Jets. Now he is the head coach. Which one of these coaches are going to succeed? My money is on Liam Cohen. I believe that he could change this program around and actually make it to the wild card. Could be. It's a probability, but how well will that AFC South be compared to the rest? Ben Johnson, he might be the right guy for the job, right? Especially the way the history goes with the Bears. I feel like that they got the right formula. They just need the actual coach. I think the Bears could be a major upset in the NFC North. All right, Pete Carroll. Everyone's talking about his return. I mean, it was surprisingly that, how he left Seattle and everything else, but he's still, and in the 70s, still coaching, man. And imagine the Raiders doing something this year. What a coincidence. I'm just saying. But the one thing that every year that I have to hear is the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys. Really? Will they do something now they have a new head coach? I'm just saying. Like, really? Will it happen? I don't know. I'm tired of Dak Prescott. I'm tired about everything else. The Cowboys is. And now there's contract issues. I think everything that happens with the Dallas Cowboys is just news to talk about. That's all. But I just don't see any value of the Dallas Cowboys. And you could go ahead and tweet, or you can make comments below about I don't know what I'm talking about. Every year it's supposed to be the Dallas Cowboys, but every time they make the playoffs, they're always out. Always out. So I'm like, why are you making it? Why are you there? Right? Crazy talk. All right. Listen, it's fourth down. And yes, you're tuning in to the All Four Downs podcast. And I want to say thank you for everyone tuning into the show. Bold predictions, but tell me, who do you think will win these divisions this year? And drop your picks in the comments below or on our social media. And until next week, till next episode, college football and the NFL, more news, more predictions. You know it. But once the season starts, it's nothing but picks, baby. Making some money, spreads, the money line, and all. So thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Gotta love some football.